Greetings and welcome to a Wednesday edition of the Shotgun Start. It is May 7th. Andy, how we doing?
Brendan, I'm doing wonderful. You know, I had a delightful day today with the USGA, and I'm ready to. I'm going home tomorrow. I can't wait.
Been gone a while. You're road weary and well traveled, but you're going home. I just have to wonder, what was like the sticker shock of going from Scotland to Oakmont? Scotland golf, whether it be whatever, but East Lothian somewhere, Fife somewhere, into Oakmont. Not to suggest one is demonstrably better than the other. They're just very different, I would imagine. Different, just dropping you right in.
You know, definitely different mentality. I got exposed. I got beat up. It was a little wet. I dealt with more weather, tougher conditions at Oakmont than I did in Scotland. I got rained on more today than I got rained on the entire trip in Scotland. And but I'll tell you what, we had a nice chat this morning with the club historian at Oakmont, and he was talking about how Founds laid out the course right after he went to Scotland, and how it was like inspired by Scotland.
Yeah.
And I don't like, I thought it was preposterous when he said that.
With the interstate? No, I'm kidding. Yeah.
But it kind of is true. Like the course is cool. The course is so cool.
It's a cool place.
I said this to their superintendent, who he was like, you've never been here. I'm like, I've been like afraid to go because I didn't think I would like it. And I was like, you know what? Yeah. Like, I don't think I'm going to like it. I loved it. I loved getting my ass kicked. It honestly, every shot's achievable, but extraordinarily hard. And it's super fun. It's like you can play well out there, but it's very hard to play well out there.
Yeah. I've for whatever reason always really enjoyed it. I've not played there regularly. I've played a few times. I don't know. I guess that was my first impression. I expected like to be walking on eggshells and to be in pain once you're on the golf course, even for the bad player. I don't know. Maybe I just had a good day, played all right, but I've enjoyed it. So I'm glad to hear you had a good experience. I could see you being reluctant to go because you would just, be wanted to savage it or disappointed or something. Or what do you mean by that? You just were like, this is kind of everything wrong with American Championship golf in the modern era or something. What I don't want to put words in your mouth.
I didn't think I was going to like it. So It's just like one of those things where it's like, okay, like I won't go there. I'll go somewhere else that I know that I think I'm going to like, I've just prioritized other places.
Yeah. And there's a lot of places out there, but now you've seen it. We've got a US Open coming there. Seems like you really enjoyed it. You're pumped about that. You're going to talk about that at length on the Fried Egg podcast. We're going to have a video. We're going to have a lot of coverage, as you can imagine, of the golf course proper.
I got some fun stories from the Oakmont.
What do you got?
Well,
Ben Hogan cutting the grass.
News one. I've been at two U.S. Open media days where Bryson DeChambeau's been the defending champion. Two times I was really eager to listen to Bryson DeChambeau talk, for us media, our fine folks.
Yeah.
He doesn't owe us anything, but
Colin would agree.
But this is the second time defending champion Bryson DeChambeau has failed to make his appearance at media day, his scheduled appearance.
Surely he is just on the other side of the world, working his way back from Korea. And not wait. Oh, you're telling me he's in Philadelphia tonight, maybe for a Ryder Cup dinner?
Well, allegedly, and
per Todd Lewis report.
I'm going to keep this all anonymous, but like I kind of was like raised. He was having flight issues, and the person who delivered the message was like, maybe he was flying into Newark, like some of you. And I was thinking to myself, I don't think Bryson flies commercial.
Well, maybe to a portion of it from Korea to, can you get the Korea to Newark? Andy, we got an amazing, this is way off topic, an amazing travel while we're on Newark. This is from a listener.
Disaster that is.
Joel, a flying east or west, good chatter for which direction to Asia bit. From the Newark to Singapore, 19-hour flight. EWR to Singapore, 19-hour flight. 2 hours. Now, this is unsubstantiated. I've not talked to our friends in air travel. Apparently, for this 19-hour flight, 2 hours before takeoff, they decide whether to fly east or west based on weather.
Oh, that's our flight. PJ, I think we're going to put you on that flight.
I think that's the longest flight in the world is Singapore to Newark. I'm pretty sure.
Do you believe this?
Is there a TPC course in Singapore that you could go play? God. Check off your butt.
I'm going to have to go look this up now.
The TPC, the world's foremost TPC authority. By the time you graduate from Fried Egg, you will have played every TPC course.
I can't wait for this world. Challenge.
Kuala Lumpur.
What's next on your TPC journey?
I don't know. Somebody tagged me yesterday that TPC Toronto is hosting the Canadian Open in 2026. People were fired up about that.
Oh, we met some folks. We met some folks. They're trying to reach us to give us Nick Taylor bobbleheads. The TPC Toronto folks would love to have us if you want to go.
TPC Wisconsin opens up this year.
And that they have a Champs Tour event, I believe. Yeah.
That could be a good one for you to go to.
Did we need a TPC Wisconsin? Oh, my God.
Steve Stricker does.
Yes, Steve
Stricker does.
It's for the AmFam.
I got it. Like, you see JD is skipping the PGA next week, but playing the regions?
I did.
What a moment for PJ and Champions Tour ascendance.
Yeah,
you got a sponsor's invite.
You got to think that he saw a path to consistent starts on the Champs Tour, where doing well at the PGA wasn't going to do anything for him. He's already made his bread and bones on the PGA Tour, but he needs Champs Tour card. Wins the regions and everything changes.
Well, they cut you off at the PGA. I think it's not lifetime. I believe it's till like 60 or 65. So, I mean, I'd take them while you got them, JD. But the regions is what it is, I suppose. Nuclear golf, our friends, whatever the aggregators extraordinaire. Picked up somebody that said
let me tell you exactly what happened, because they're missing out some details here.
5-inch rough, greens running 15 plus on the stem, winning score over par. Well, I want to see. I want to give this to you to correct it. Correct it. Give us the facts. This is nuclear. 5-inch rough, greens running 15 on the stem, winning score over par. In the tournament conditions, they are. I don't know if they're guaranteed, but I say winning score over par. This is via Brian Jufra. Was John Bodenheimer going around saying this?
Sensationalism.
I figured, and that's why I'm putting it out there. I'm just throwing the target up for you to.
This is the exact problem with social media. Is like people just go on there to just like basically twist whatever was actually said. So the Oakmont president got up there and was like, "We had 3 asks." Okay. 5-inch rough.
So is the membership. All right.
You got to use the new hole locations.
Yeah.
And the score's got to be over. You got to try your hardest to have the score be over par. Those were their 3 requests.
So this was the president, not
the president of Oakmont made those requests.
That's scans.
Bodenheimer said the green speeds are going to be whatever they can get them to that makes sense for the tournament. And he threw out a few numbers. Like it could be 13-8 or 14-1 or 15-2. Now, if you want to tweet to Pop, you just sensationalize that commentary. I was going to bring this up. This was one of my 3 things, was the Oakmont president's 3 asks.
I love this. We said that the nuclear characterized it as officials. Now that is a wildly ambiguous term. You know, anybody could be an official. I'm an official podcast host. I guess I could be labeled officials with something. Okay, that I think you can pre-write your article right now about Oakmont membership. So and so unnamed Oakmont member whispering about how the USGA is neutered the course, defanged the course. This is easier than what the members play. This is just kind of a plug and play article you could do at a lot of US Opens, but particularly at Oakmont. And we've seen it, whether it was 97, a little bit of 16. We've seen a lot of this rumbling. And Oakmont, especially protective of sort of the championship pedigree and the score on the card.
I'm just happy that we're going somewhere where one of the all-time greats won.
Ernie?
Yeah.
Hey, on the subject of score, within 2 seconds, can you tell me what the score was last month to get in the playoff at the Masters?
It was 12 or 11. 11.
I think it was 11. Yeah. I was thinking about this today. How often does like the actual number of the score, like at the Masters, you might remember Tiger, it just comes and goes. But somehow at the U.S. Open, we. Do
you remember what the score was when DJ won at Oakmont? I think I know it.
4?
I think it was 4 or 5.
Okay, that's a wild guess.
4.
I don't know it.
You're right.
Okay. So it seems like such a pre-tournament. Especially with the U.S. Open. We know that.
Do you remember what Bryson won last year at the Pinehurst?
No.
I think it was 6.
Okay. That sounds about right.
Do you remember what Wyndham won with at L.A.?
Was that like 10?
I think it was
9?
10.
Okay.
What
PJ,
did Bryson win?
Facts?
What you got a fact check?
I thought Rory went to 5. Maybe
Bryson was 6. Wyndham was 10. So you're all over it.
But again, this is not something I remember with any sort of clarity.
Do you remember what Rory won the Truist with last year?
No. Anything else from Media Day you want to get off?
I got one other story.
Okay.
One other story. This is going to be catnip galore. I wanted to be the first one to get it out there.
Oh God! Any big letter hats that they're giving out? I know
Pews.
You got grit.
They go pew 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 pew.
Oh my God! We might have to get that the week out. Pew 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 pew. Just do that the whole week.
Well, I think that I was playing with the NLU boys, Tron and Solly. Their match, I believe the stakes. I'm not spoiling. I'm not going to spoil any content on who won, who lost.
Yeah,
I do believe the stakes were that whoever loses has to wear the Pews hat. Pew 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 pew.
Substantiated rumor, real quick on that one. Apparently, there may be a letter rollback coming. Apparently, G4 and other proprietors at the PGA have shrunk the letters slightly. So there's like small letter hats, same font, quail or something. We're getting those reports.
The River Highlands hat that I got last week, it is smaller versions of the big letters because I think you're trying to fit in more letters on the hat if you're not eliminating if you're not eliminating vowels anymore, in quail.
Can I just I was walking through the airport yesterday.
Uh-huh.
And I just have to get this off my chest.
Okay.
The upside down is coming for golf.
It's here.
It's I'm just saying it is just a matter of time before we have the upside down like fully entrenched in golf. The upside down across it's going to be the next big letter hat. I'm like so positive.
Yeah. Monkey see, monkey do. Of course. Yeah.
Somebody hasn't made it yet, and the first mover there's a lot of money to be made.
They had them at the Players. They were a big hit on our Instagram story tour of the merch tent.
The Players, yeah,
that's true.
Anyways,
I think they're coming. All the clubs are going to get into it.
No, really.
Ballester was just the first mover.
What's your last one? So we're rolling back the letters, maybe. Don't roll back my golf ball, but roll back my letters. What's your last little bit?
This is from catnip. Do you know about the lockers? What's in the locker?
Yeah. I don't know what's in them, but I've used a locker.
Great
there.
locker room, and so they still have the original lockers. When they build a new one, they build them just to this spec. Mm-hmm. But they, during the Prohibition era, they put these little boxes in the corner of every locker, and they were for people to hide their booze in, and it's just big enough to put 2 bottles in. And still to this day, when they put new lockers in, they put in the little Prohibition booze box.
Pretty cool.
I got a video of it, so maybe we could put it on social media tomorrow.
Catnip.
Yeah, I was just
you might get nucleared or Zyred or
just
whatever.
trying to get out instead of just calling out catnip call of the week and predicting. I was trying to be the catnip of the week.
You're strutting out there. You're flashing your tail. The catnip. All right, I love that.
There are rough videos for Media Day. That was something. That was.
Did you see them in execution? People testing the rough. Is that what you got to see up close?
I mean, I didn't have to see it up close. I saw it happening to my wayward shots.
Oh, okay.
Just getting devoured by the rough. They did. Okay. It had been raining so much. They did a walk mow of the entire place. They did push mowers the entire golf course.
Yeah.
Think about that. Like something like 50 acres of rough push mowed between their staff.
Incredible.
They totally jammed us because if everybody be like, oh, they mowed it for you. Well, so then the rough just stands straight up and the ball goes straight to the bottom every time. It was the ultimate jamming.
They don't stop for much there. I mean, unless it's lightning, they make it. They go out and they prep the course and they play. It's kind of crazy in a way. Not everybody can do it.
I mean, their turf team is like
amazing.
They're crazy.
The last time I played there, it was so foggy you could not see 15 feet in front of you. Like surely, like fog delay, frost too. No. You're going. Nobody could see their tee shot. You could not see a tee shot for the first 3 holes. Like they cut the course, you play, there's tee times, and you just go. And you hit it and you try to find it. It was incredible. Incredible.
Hey, do you have any good Quail Hollow stories?
Not yet. For next week's PGA?
Yeah.
No, why?
I'm just, maybe that's why we shouldn't be hosting a major there.
Well, where they are hosting a major is Oakmont, and you were out there today at Oakmont, and your new Echo
I was in the H5s, and we got all kinds of weather. I mean, it was raining, it was wet, it was it was windy. And guess what? And it's hilly. You know what was conquering the hills? Those H5s. My feet were as dry as as a bone. Why is
dry
it bone dry? What's the point of bone dry?
It's an interesting question. That's an interesting.
Because what's
the origin of that?
Does it mean like a bone just sitting in the desert?
I don't know. Yeah.
Because like sometimes bones aren't dry. Yeah. I'm thinking about like a chicken wing.
True. A bone has marrow. That's a form of, I think liquidy substance. Go ahead.
But my feet were bone dry, whatever that means. And my Echo Biome H5s. They got all kinds of tech built into this stuff.
The innovators behind the hybrid golf shoe revolution, they unveiled their latest breakthrough in the Biome hybrid franchise, that H5. They draw inspiration from the rugged Scottish Highlands and leveraged Echo's renowned Danish technology. We love the Danes, the many bears of Danish golf. The Biome H5 is a performance golf shoe built for the elements, as you attested to, and represents the true nature of golf. It thrived in the very environment that inspired it, that Scottish Highlands. It's an H5 is a shoe made to be worn and get better with time. It's all new Echo Tex waterproof, modern sporty aesthetic, crafted from Echo performance leather. It's got the Biome natural motion, and that has a trademark on it. By natural motion, all caps, registered trademark. So they've done some work on that one. When you go all caps, snug fit that provides stability. The Echo Terra traction system that sole provides superior stability and traction with an abstract and contemporary look. You can go to us.echo.com/golf and check out the new Biome H5. They're going to be sponsoring us and helping us again this year at Oakmont. Not Quail, but Oakmont.
I'm going to be trucking around those hills in my Echoes all week.
Up the hill to Oakmont. Let's get to the event at hand. Not hosting a major. There's some sort of scuttlebutt about Philadelphia Cricket Club using this as a stage to try and land a major. I don't know that I totally buy that. I think it was a course that was ready and able and willing to host.
I don't think it's long enough.
The Truist, we'll get to that in a minute. But yeah, and it's just a crowded neighborhood. Of course, you can't have a U.S. Open before 2075 at this point. And the PGA is kind of an aronomink deal in the neighborhood. But they have a Truist Championship, the oldest country club, in America, the Philadelphia Cricket Club, A.W. Tillinghast Golf Course, hosted the Truist Championship.
Oldest club in America?
Country club. So, they were doing the cricket deals.
That feels like could be anybody thing.
You know what? I don't disagree.
I'm kind of done with the oldest this, oldest that.
They do.
There's too many like demarcations of we're this, we're that. I love Philadelphia Cricket Club, but I think I'm done. I'm out on the oldest.
But yeah, and it's
unless of course I'm using it to make a point.
The purse is $20 million. This is the Wissa. I don't know how to do this. Wissahickon course. $20 million, 3.6 to the winner, the defending champ, Rory McIlroy. That, of course, happened at Quail Hollow. Notables, Ludwig, Patrick Cantlay, Wyndham Clark, Matt Fitzpatrick, Rory, Morikawa, Xander, JT. First round is 2-6 on first and second, or 2-6 on Golf Channel Saturday, 1-3. 6:30 finish on CBS on Saturday, 6 finish on CBS on Sunday. This is an awesome event. I want to get into a little bit of the golf course here in a minute, but look, we got a stout field. It's leading into a major, arguably at a better golf course than the major championship the subsequent week. Certainly more architecturally prominent, however you want to interpret that golf course. And a rare sort of golden age appearance on the PGA Tour. The tour is on a winner. We'll get to ratings talk in a minute. The tour is on a heater. It's had great winners at signature events and non-signature events alike throughout the season. And here's another, in my opinion, great opportunity to have a cool week, have a great week. And so I have typically before a major championship, I'm just kind of spinning the clock. I got an eye on the event, but I'm actually, trying to prep for the following week, but I'm actually pretty eager to watch this one and excited to watch this one.
I'm extremely eager. This is a great golf course. There are some really good par fours on it. Some really, Tillinghast always built really good par threes. Interesting architecture, great land. The greens are going to be the big defense. Can you hit it to the right places? Keep the ball below the hole. Not get yourself into bad short-sided spots, because that's what's going to be the challenge. Obviously, I don't think the weather's been great for this event.
Mid-Atlantic, I don't know about Philadelphia proper. Bad storms tonight. DC was hammered yesterday. So yeah, they've gotten rain Monday, Tuesday. It's supposed to be a little bit better though after this.
But
of the week. It's going to be wet.
You're not going to get firm and fast, and everybody's going to be talking about the senior players and +1. Yeah. The long hitters are going to be able to bypass a lot of the hazards out here. This golf course was renovated
Keith Foster, 2013.
10 plus years ago.
Yeah.
The USGA made a good point today. They were the last time we hosted it here, since 2016, since 2016, the average tour players picked up 1 yard of distance, right, per year. They're that's basically 10 yards.
Uh-huh.
So
seems
they just can't. So anyways, a golf course renovated 13 years ago, like this one, is just kind of already obsoleted because of the supreme athletes of the PGA Tour.
Okay, so it'll be a par 70, 7,100 yards, tipped out, 7,100 yards, par 70.
It's very short.
12 par 4s, wider-ish fairways for a PGA Tour event. It's 32, but like 32 yards. I read, I got a great quote. I've read a betting article on BetSperts. I know they've been getting a lot of pub lately, but they had 32 yards as the average fairway. But some of these par 4s, Andy, 365 yards, 375 yards, 427 yards, 447 yards, 435, 426, 424, 423. These are all wedges. These are all wedges for the average player. Of course, maybe they hit it offline and they got a hack, but you're talking about the preponderance of the par 4s. And this is not a knock on the golf course, it's a distance issue, are going to be probably a driver wedge or a 3-wood and a 125-yard shot, 100-yard shot. And, that's sort of the greens will be the defense, as you said. It's a Tillinghast greens and probably much more slope than the Tour is comfortable with or used to, Tour management. And so we'll see how they set those up and how much thumb they put on the scale with that. Membership, not like Oakmont necessarily, but that probably wants, I think I've talked to a few members. There's some, I don't know if there's anxiety. I think it's nothing like Oakmont, but it's probably going to be a low score. If it's not 15 under, it could be higher, especially given the softness. So the greens will have to, if they let them work, will have to be the defense. But to your point, it's a par 4 predominant golf course, but a lot of them are going to be driver wedge for these players, and not even the Rorys. Like everybody, they're driver wedges. That's the modern sort of average Tour player. 423, 424. This is what it is.
I think like the best way now with pro golf is have like, if you're going to be 7,100 yards, have like a mixture of shorter par 3s where you're like sub 400 yards, and then have really long par 3s, like 500 yard par 3s,
Yeah.
Or par 4s. Sorry. Fours. But like having that mixture is better than having like a bunch of 450 yard holes where they're going to hit wedge into.
Yeah.
Because like if you have a bunch of 450 yard par 4s, it adds up to a really big number, but it doesn't really play long, if that makes sense.
Yeah. I mean, we're talking more like 4 to 425 or 375 to 420. If they only have a couple that are 450 or above. And that's sort of a more modern commentary on the distance. I did find in that BetSperts, this was the article. This is what I wanted to relay. I did find an amusing quote from Stuart Moore, PGA Tour Championship Management, talking about the golf course. We're reading the article here. The course is littered with 118 cavernous bunkers, including numerous adjacent to fairway landing zones with high lips that will challenge players who are going for the green. At Wissahickon, that's going to trip me up all week. Accuracy trumps distance. Quote, this is, again, Stuart Moore, PGA Tour Vice President of Championship Management. We play a lot of golf courses that are bomb it and go find it. You can't necessarily do that here. Now, I know that's intended as a compliment to the instant tournament host, Philadelphia Cricket Club, but I read that more as an admission of the week-to-week PGA Tour test. We play a lot of golf courses that are just bomb it and go find it.
Not Craig Ranch. Craig Ranch, arguably separated the best player in the world, the best of
Put him on a pedestal. Did you see in
the
our
video?
Were you in Slack? Did you see Joseph Lamagna, Gilly? Lanny's out at Craig Ranch talking about tear it. We're going to tear it up. Was it tear it down or tear it up? Tear it up.
He got the crowd to chant it.
There were like 10-year-olds.
Dozers in the background.
Just screaming,
tear
it up.
Oh my God.
God, what a job for Lanny. What a windfall.
Ginning up the crowd like he's at the Ryder Cup captain again at Oak Hill or wherever he was. Yeah, that's pretty good. We got a lot of reports from Craig Ranch members saying we're out of here. It's become a corporatized membership. It's just corporatized, just tour mouthpiece. This has lost all personality.
I got a message today that it was spot on that the tour bullshit had driven one member out that I had a connection with.
Really?
Yeah, literally verbatim.
Oh, really?
Yeah. 1 year into it, the first year he was the member thought it was cool, and then it was like, wait a second, this sucks. Get me out of here.
I am excited about the Truist. Tickets are pricey. I got a buddy trying to go. It's like $250. Costs more than the PGA next week, which includes free drinks and whatever, free Coke and popcorn or whatever they say at the PGA.
It's a bargain compared to the Ryder Cup, though.
Yeah, that's true. Jason Day, a late WD, Patrick Rogers filling in, flying from Myrtle Beach right into Philadelphia. I have a great poll going on Shotgun Start right now about what area has better golf, Philadelphia or Myrtle Beach.
What's the voting at?
I think it's going Philadelphia.
It's gotta be a 50-50. I might
it's like 70. It's like 75-25 Philly.
As Twitter,
I wish more people would. I wish more people would vote sarcastically on these polls. It's kind of like
what Twitter said. This is a wealth indicator poll. And so we should put that in the demographics for our next sales deck. 75% of people are Philly taste, I guess. I don't know. Myrtle has its great appeal. Public access would be one of them. So Rogers in for Myrtle up to Philadelphia. I'm just very excited about it. Tickets are expensive. We got Creator Classic on Wednesday.
Well, you're burying the Q. The Q happened. Did you see who won? Did you see who won the Q?
What's the guy? Nolan
Nathan.
Frank?
Nathan. I mean, he's hot dogs. All hot dogs. Nathan's hot dogs and Frank's.
It's interesting.
I saw somebody tweeted at me. He's got to be called the hot dog man.
That's incredible. The parents had to lean into it there, right? I mean, what's his Nathan's, Oscar Mayer Franks? What's the middle names? Hebrew National?
Vienna Beef.
They had to lean into that. The parents got cheeky with that one. Does he play at where he plays at, like Virginia or something? He's a good player.
Yeah, he's a good player. I don't know what's going on with the Q. I watched a little of it this morning.
I didn't.
I did a YouTube golf morning. Well, I was up at the crack of dawn because of my my travel. But I watched a little of that. I don't get the mix of people in this thing, in the queue. They've got they've got their the influencers, but then there's like Nathan Franks and Tyler Watts. And Tyler Watts is like legit. Nathan Franks is legit. And it's like, wait a second, like these guys aren't creators.
Well, I think they're trying to have their cake and eat it too. They want the lift. The impressions lift of the creators while keeping the competition legitimate for actual, KFT wannabe pros. So they're like trying to do both, and that's what they're going for. So that the qualifier will be an actual professional golfer or one who aspires to be, while also getting the impressions from whoever else, the guys with the big following.
I'm a little worried about my guy who I've become a big fan of through the Creator Classics. I've become a big fan of Fat Perez. I root for him. I root for him in all these creator events. Okay. He did not play well. He shot like 84. Didn't play well at Sawgrass.
Is this the Q thing or this?
Yeah,
is
the Q thing.
All right. Okay.
I'm just worried. He's the creator I've decided to root for in these things. Much like my ball for everybody I picked.
You just got behind Fat Perez.
I'm behind Fat Perez.
He's not playing tomorrow.
He's not playing tomorrow
at the Philly Cricket Club. I was deep on the Philly Cricket Club
Nate
website.
Shot is though. That's who I'm going to be rooting for.
I think Fat Perez and Cam Smith might have also come in last at the duels too.
Look at this PJ just has
I think Fat Perez might be really struggling out there.
That's the thing with golf. Like, you never know when your doldrums are going to hit, and it's just hit them at the exact wrong time.
There is a pretty stringent dress code at Philadelphia Cricket Club for women and men. I was in the weeds on today. This is one you'd expect. They reached out to someone involved in the Creator Classic. It would disqualify certain women, certain men in the field, for sure. And I've confirmed that there will be no dress code imposed for the Creator Classic. So I don't know if that was run by the Cricket Club members or if they just have no damn say in the matter. You take it and get it. But yeah, no dress code. Untucked shirts for the boys, hoodies, and then the women, similar. So
Nate Shot's got to be the favorite, right?
I don't
just
know.
Just because of his name.
I remember Nate Shot playing with Ricky way back when at Avenue. He's been an early adopter. They've been getting their spot, trying to get their impressions off Nate Shot for a while.
How about Ricky getting a sponsor's exemption into the PGA?
We're going to talk about that.
That's what is going on?
Wi-Fi is going south. But yeah, it's bad. The field is this is several years now of this, multiple years. It happened last year at Valhalla. People were really angry about it. I mean, you have top 100 players or adjacent guys who are 15, 20 spots ahead of him in the world rankings. And Ricky gets spots. It happened at Kiowa. Of course, he kind of justified that one with the top 10-ish, top 5-ish result. Victor Perez, I think, was the highest rated pro, 109. Luke Clanton, higher. But of course, he is not a professional.
He's turning pro, though.
Not eligible. Yeah. The tour kind of spoiled that in a press release on Monday. Clanton not eligible because he's not a pro. It's just it's an interesting field composition. The way that it's like, we'll just make it up as we go. You got Johnny Kiefer, who's number 2 on the KFT tour. But number 1, Hank Lebioda, is not invited. Now, Kiefer is a top 100 in the world OWGR. You've got Luke Donald. I get that. That's the whole keep the Ryder Cup prominent deal.
Well, he's got to get a look at the guys, too, at the boys.
But we're talking about spot in a major. Look at it elsewhere. You know where he is this week? He's playing the Turkish Airlines Open, hitting tee shots off the top of a condo at the Turkey event.
I like that.
I love Luke Donald. He's the man. But I don't know, the Live boys, we got David Puig, Dustin Johnson, and Tom McKibben. Where you have
why
like other
Tom
guys
McKibben
who are
get in.
Like, why not Lucas Herbert or like I
do you think the same guy that had those rollback takes that said that they weren't included or in anything, Sprague, he was picking the sponsors exemptions too?
I mean, this is you look. We had a big debate about the 20 PGA Pro spots.
Oh, I meant to talk about that. That was. I hope a lot of people got into your messages and said that was completely uncalled for. I hope everybody. I was yelling. I was driving, and on the wrong side of the road, yelling at the radio. I couldn't believe that nobody stood up for the PGA pros. You should be ashamed of yourself. It's the whole identity of the tournament.
Stood up for it.
You didn't stand up for it. You said, "Oh yeah, maybe they should only have 10."
I mean, 20's a lot for a major. But look at what they're doing. They're just inviting guys willy-nilly. I know we're arguing at the margins here, and they get the right top 75. But like, it's kind of a demerit on the major, the notion of it being a major. Like, how about Ricky? He's 127. That's good enough. Never mind the 109.
What's his best finish this year? Guess what his best finish on the year is?
Probably at a no-cut Siggy event, because he's in all those. I'm just kidding. I don't know. He's in it again. I love Ricky. It's not fair to Ricky.
His best finish this year is a T18 at the Cognizant.
Okay. Yeah. It's been a while. One at Rocket Mortgage.
One top 20 in, I think, 10 starts.
He had a second child in the offseason, I believe.
I'm not saying, and this isn't meant to be a drive-by of Ricky. It's just what are we doing with the major? I mean, I'd rather give Michael Block a spot right now.
Also getting reports that there may be letter hats for Blocky, specific Michael Block merchandise somewhere next week.
I was on Google Maps on looking around Long Island. I hope he qualifies for Shinnecock. Because he'll be right by Block Island Sound.
Oh, my God. Can you
Which is Rhode Island,
imagine?
technically, right? Block Island is a Rhode Island province or territory.
My God.
That would be awesome. Activation City.
I'm surprised it hasn't happened yet, honestly. I feel like that should have... It's been 3 years.
I think Block Island's got it. Block Island's got enough going for it. This isn't like Raising Cane's. We need a Michael Block
Island
lift.
Tourism Board doesn't need Blocky.
I think it's a good situation going on up there. I don't know that they need. Anyways, yeah, the PGA field, we'll get into that probably more next week. Interesting. Ricky, you want to call it a sponsors exemption? That's fine if that's what you want to call it. I mean, it's a popularity exemption. Put a bow on Truist. Yeah, this feels like a model for potentially elevated signature events. Can you get a nice place that doesn't have to commit to doing this every single year? You know, I'm getting a lot of complaints from people, prominent courses. We got to hit off Matt's. Aronimink apparently closing from November till after the PGA.
That sounds terrible.
There's a pain that comes with hosting. And you know, if you do it once every 10 years or 20 or whatever, it's a little bit more palatable. But can the PGA Tour make this a little bit of an improved model if venues do indeed matter, as Rory talked about?
Why do these members have to hit off Matt? I don't get that.
Are we
really worried about like a couple divots in the fairways?
We had to do it at
this
congressional.
Seems like insane.
I go, they had us up too. It's like on par 3 tees, we had to hit off Matt's. I was like, Bernhard's not playing from this tee box. Dickie B is not. They're back.
We've kind of lost our minds with like the distance we go for these championships.
Well,
like it's a freaking golf course.
Yeah.
Like people can play on it. If there's a divot in the fairway, it'll just make the tournament more interesting.
That's a good take. It's the mental examination.
Right.
I think you play the golf course. Play what's in front of you.
Think about telling someone back in like 1900 that you couldn't go play. You can't. You need to hit off this mat at the old course because the Open Championship's going to be played next week. Like they'd be like, "Oh, go F yourself.
Go F yourself.
Keep walking along."
Oh, well, when you are walking along, especially under that sunshine, make sure you have your Orson Alps sunscreen. Looks like you got caught without your Orson Alps today.
You know what it was?
It was raining.
Cloudy.
Did it start raining?
It was cloudy,
flip it
sunny, rainy. Right. And I thought about it numerous times, but as we talked about, I'm a lotion guy. And I was like, I don't want to get the lotion on my hands. I don't want to get the schmutz on my hands. I need to put one of the sticks in my bag.
Yes.
So I avoid this situation. I was thinking about it. I was like, I don't need the club flying out of my hands today.
And if you need a stick in your bag, not just a shaft or a golf stick, but a sunscreen stick, go to orsonalps.com/shotgunstart. Use the promo code shotgun15 to get 15% off. That's it. Just get the stick. You can get matte. You get the clear. You put them in your bag. You don't get caught like Andy, he's got some rosy cheeks after today. He got the Oakmont sun jammed him. So go to orsonalps.com/shotgunstart.
I'm going home tomorrow. My wife's going to yell at me about it.
Look at you. Just prancing around in the sunshine.
You forget to put sunscreen on? You look ridiculous.
So thanks to Orson Alps. All right, let's get ripped through the rest of the schedule for the week. In addition to the Truist Championships, we need the boys. We need to give more playing opportunities for the boys. We got the One Flight Myrtle Beach Classic at the Dunes Golf and Beach Club in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. It's a second appearance for this event. The purse is $4,720,000 to the winner. The defending champ is Chris Gotterup. Notables are Blades Brown, Rafa Campos, Ryan Fox. Nick Hardy gets a notable. Bo Hostler, Mark Hubbard, Thorbjorn Olesen, and Brant Snedeker is a notable. This is 10 to 12 on Thursday, Friday, 3 to 5 with the finish on the weekend. We're not doing in-out alternate. The field is actually pretty good. Like,
it's too
good
stout.
For, quote, an additional event. Though there's notables with, Sneds.
Well, I mean, the notables are never going to be good. Sneds is on there because he's the P Cup captain.
That's fair. We did get themes for notables. Tom Kim, can you do? I'll do a quick quiz for you, PJ. Quick. Tom Kim, Nico Echevarria, and Tyler Duncan. Choo-choo trains? What's that? Boilermaker, Tom Kim.
I don't know. Nico withdrew, so he's not even in anymore. Nick Watney got in.
Oh, you did get it. I did see a tweet that said Jonathan Bird is now in on his own number, and that just told me all I needed to know. Kevin Roy, Sammy Valimaki, and Matteo Manacero. That one I get.
Hockey players.
The great one.
The great one. Valimaki. I wonder how Sammy's cousin's doing.
Yuso. Rehabbing his ACL.
I think you're the only one. Gotterup, Quade Cummins, and Aldrich.
The big boys.
Jonathan Bird, Jackson Bird, and Trace Crow. Fly in any weather. John Pock, Alex Smalley, and Mac Meisner. Small, little? I don't know.
Yeah.
Toasty, Kazire, and Theo Humphrey. I don't really get that one. I don't follow,
Theo
but the
Humphrey.
listeners will get it.
I haven't heard that name in a while.
That's your one flight Myrtle Beach Classic. Anything else you want to supplement with that? Supplement with us for that, PJ?
No, I mean, I was looking at the alternate list, and after Nick Watney got in, Tommy Gainey, I believe, is the number one alternate, the current, and Kevin Chappell, after his big Zurich appearance, is still on the alternate list here.
I mean, Tommy Gainey, maybe one of the foremost South Carolina golfers of all time, right? Shouldn't he just be in on principle?
I think Chappell's in. I think you're not even looking. Gainey's in too.
I'm looking at the PGA Tour website right now.
You got to go to tour. You got to go to the leaderboard for the queue, and then or the Myrtle Beach, and then hop over to field.
That's where I'm looking.
You're not up to date. You got to hit the refresh.
All right,
because you got Jim Herman, the Herminator, former friend of this podcast to talk about Woozy. He's first on the alternate list.
Love that.
Jimmy Walker's number 2. Surprised he's not playing on the Euro Tour.
On the LPGA Tour, we have the Mizuho America's Open, Liberty National.
Taking the boat.
120 players, along with 24 top 24 ranked junior girls at Liberty National for this Mizuho America's event. It's a Michelle Wee hosted event. She was on the Mixed Bag podcast. We got a big get from Mixed Bag. Michelle Wee, the big Wheezy. Wee West, I should say. I think that's her new name. Purse is $3 million. Defending champ is Nelly Korda. Notables are Brooke Henderson, Lydia Ko, Nelly Korda, Hiron Rue, Mouse Ago, Gino Titicool, Angel Yin, and Rose Zane. This is 12 to 2 on Golf Channel with a 3 p.m. finish on the weekend on Sunday on Golf Channel. Elsewhere on the DP World Tour, we have the Turkish Airlines Open, $2.75 million. I'm old enough to remember when this event was just handing out appearance fee money. Tiger went to this event. He was at Turkish Airlines Open. They were trying to get me to go to this. They would pay the media. We'd fly a first class on Turkish Airlines. This was a prominent event about 10 years ago. The previous champion is Tyrrell Hatton. Do you know when he was the previous, quote unquote, previous champion? Turkish Airlines. 2019. Yes, 6 years ago. The notables: Luke Donald, Dylan Fratelli, Yannick Paul, Marco Penji, Matty Schwab, Jordan L. Smith, and Brandon Wu are your notables. Sorry, I'm trying to watch this Cavs game while also reading off notables.
How's it going?
Not great. We're up.
Do you feel like you guys there was dirty play in that game?
I don't know if it was the one on Hunter was a foul. He punched him in the chest. He blocked him clean at the left.
The ref said it wasn't a foul.
It wasn't. I mean, we are without the two guys got injured. I don't know if it's dirty or not, but it's not an illegitimate claim. We are without 3 of our top 5 or 6, 2 all-stars, and 2 of them were hurt in the game. But we're doing all right now. We'll see. Indiana fans, good stroke of luck. You got that Indiana Hoosiers football schedule. Now you get this. The C's parting up. That they should be used to this kind of good praise.
Do the Hoosiers have to go up against Burt?
Throwing some shade on them. That does it, I think, for schedule for the week. News, we've kind of touched on
picks.
What's your pick for Truist? Wissahickon.
PJ pick.
Well, go ahead. PJ, who's your pick for the Truist? $20 million purse, 70 whatever field.
Big money. I'm going Victor Hovland. I think I might be a week too early, but he's been pretty popular this week. Played well at the PGA last year. I feel like we're rounding into form here.
I think you swing big. I think JT, I don't know who I've used. I think JT is like the pick if you're one and done. I think is it time to get on the back of the Xander wagon, right? Guy who's just going to hit a bunch of wedges and putt the breaks off the place. Cantley playing better.
I don't think he hits it far enough. I think you want to go someone who can fly it.
Well, he's a beast in this region. Wilmington, Caves, Philly. He's really owned this sort of central.
Does Keegan get a home game?
Those are all post-war designs.
Keegan home game. Is it too far away from the New England sector?
I don't think so. That's a
Andy would
say honestly, if it was in Minneapolis, they'd be saying it's a home game for a Chicagoan.
Yeah. I think I'm going to go with Xander. I use a big name. Any of those are good.
That's
I think I'm going to go with
That's
Xander.
who I'm taking.
Okay. All right. Time for him to rejoin the battle. Had a tough
also,
year.
You got to save your. You got to use Bryson on.
Sure.
And maybe use Rahm because he never finishes outside the top 10.
That's true. Bryson and Brooks apparently at the Ryder Cup dinner in Philadelphia hosted by Keegan tonight. Top 20 in the rankings. Anyone else in addition to the top 20?
The 2023 team and the 2024 President's Cup team. Okay. So that pretty much covers everybody except for Patrick Reed, who I'm sure is definitely happy to not be there.
Is he happy or is he?
No, he's writing it down. I'm sure this will come up again at some point.
DJ? Why no DJ?
Is he actually a professional golfer still? Or is he retired?
I mean, if there's really if they're casting this wide a net, I think DJ should be involved. But whatever. I guess not.
DJ's exemptions are pretty much up, right?
They're getting there, but does an exemption even matter anymore? Ricky could just, you write a nice letter, you get invited. Doesn't matter.
I can't believe Ricky got an exemption to the PGA. That's so ridiculous.
Other quick news, sad, Billy Ho, hip surgery. He's going to be out until late, summer, early fall. Not a Ryder Cup option, almost certainly. Sad to see it. Playing pretty good golf this year. Obviously a credit to the tour, content king, town crier, great guy, an asset, and he has to have hip surgery. So he announced that. Tough time of year to have that happen with all the majors condensed.
Real bummer.
Yeah. Quick news, love seeing Yanni Sen qualified for the US Open, Women's Open. First, I think it's be her first one in 5 years, maybe. She's now putting left-handed. That was the fix. Putting left-handed, switch sides. God, I remember when she was like, she has had a better career than a lot of people we say are like the next. She's already done it. Just the fall off was completely out of nowhere. I mean, it just incredible fall off. But when you talk about some of the women we tout nowadays, she's won 5 majors. It's a lot. It's a lot of majors.
Insane.
And 27 professional wins, 15 on the LPGA. So she's going to be back. And then ratings, we'll talk about that on Friday.
Ratings?
Monster ratings for the Nelson, almost 3 million. Scotty in the mix. And I think the average for Liv was like 48,000. That was an overnight event. It was in Korea. So some context. We'll talk about that on Friday. That does it for this Wednesday show, the Shotgun Start. We will talk to you on Friday.